Hello, Joseph here. Today I'm doing a quick tip tutorial on reference image setup in 3D Studio Max 2014 and how I work and how I used to work and what I find good and bad about 3D Studio Max 2014. Yeah, let's start. I used to work like this in 3D Studio Max 2012-2013. I select my viewport of choice, go to viewport, viewport background, configure viewport background, use file, and then I select my reference image, in this case a knife, and then match bitmap to the viewport. And you see, here I have the reference image and it looks nice, but the problem in 3D Studio Max 2014 is that now you can't pan and zoom together with your viewport image. They've added a new feature in perspective view called 2D pan zoom mode, which I think replaces the old way of working. But the new way of working is, in my opinion, broken and works pretty bad. But I'm going to show you what I think is the new way and how it's supposed to work. If I go to this home page, they explained the new feature.
This is great for when you're moving around or you need to zoom in and do some image-based modeling or just some tweaking to your models that are within your scene.
Yeah, I don't agree, but that's what they're supposed to do. So if I go into 2D pan zoom and load my viewport image, same procedure as last time. Match bitmap, okay. Now you see it works. I can pan and zoom and my viewport's image is always in place. But it only works at perspective camera, so I don't like that so much. But you could use the viewport cube to, get there. You go to left viewport and now you are completely from the side. And I guess you could start modeling now after your reference. Like this. I've noticed a lot of bugs with the pan and zoom mode. Maybe if I just press 100% here. I can't even draw it out. Maybe if I draw it here first and then rotate it 90 degrees like that. So convert it to editable poly. And now I move the points to where I want them. But as I said before, I've noticed a lot of bugs with this 2D pan and zoom. So I don't really like it that much yet. But for example, here I have my model close to where my reference image is. But if I maximize, it gets out of sync. And if I minimize, it gets out of sync. But it's not a big problem because you only have to pan for it to jump back into place. But I find this a bit annoying that it always loses focus if you maximize and minimize, because I do that a lot. And if I for example had something else like a car or another object and I have reference image from the front, you have to set that up to perspective camera and then 2D pan zoom and yeah. It works, I suppose, but it doesn't work that good and I don't like it at all. So I'm going to show you the way I work right. Start fresh. Many use this method of working with reference image instead of viewport background image, and that's just to draw a simple plane in your preferred viewport, and that's supposed to be left for this model. And after you created a plane, you want to center it to the world. and then you want to give it the material of your reference image. In this case, my knife, and you want to pay attention to the width and height ratio. Let's open this and apply it to my plane. So here I have my image, and yeah, I have to now see to that the width and length ratio is almost the same as the pixel aspect ratio. But yeah, something like that looks good. And now it works. And now you could work with your another model on top of that. And then so this is an old method of working with reference image, and it works quite good, but it takes more time to set it up than the old method. But anyhow, this is the way I prefer working right now. So as you can see, works pretty good. A little problem with this is if you go into wireframe mode, you lose your reference image too, and that is a pain in the ass, but I guess you have to live with it. Another thing is you can accidentally select your model, but that's easily prevented by freezing your object. But it turns gray, so then you have to go into display and activate show frozen in gray and freeze selection, so it doesn't freeze. So this works good, and it's a good way to work. But there are ways to make this process even simpler, and that is to use 3D Studio Max scripts. I use a lot of scripts when working with 3D Studio Max, and for reference image here we have some examples: Blueprint Manager, drag and drop reference image, and Soulburn scripts also have a image reference image setup thingy. I use Soulburn scripts, I like it a lot, and I will show you how you set it up. So you have the homepage address here. I will post it in a link on my YouTube video. So you just have to download Soulburn scripts to your desired folder. Yes, or something. And what you need to do next is go into that folder and extract it into your 3D Studio Max destination. Like so, and then you have to replace the file and merge the folders together. Everything, how to install it, is described in this page. You have a drag and drop reference, and how you install that is also described on this page, and there's even a video displaying and explaining how it works. And the same with Blueprint Manager is explained, so I don't need to go into detail about them. I will show you though how SoulScript's viewport reference works. So if I restart 3D Studio Max again, when you have installed your Soulburn scripts, all you have to do is go into Customize User Interface, and then you go into Toolbars and you go to Category Soulburn Script here, and then you go into something called Soulburn Script. Let's see, Soulburn Script Lister UI, and you just drag and drop it maybe to any other new menu, or you can assign it as a hotkey or how you like it. And now if you activate, you get the Soulburn Script Lister, and it has a lot of scripts. But the one we are looking for is called Image Plane Maker. So what you want to do now is apply, and you have to just choose your reference images, and I have mine from the side. So I press here, load my reference image, I will also load another image in the top viewport because I'm going to show you something you need to do. So when it's loaded into the selected viewport, you just press apply. To activate wireframe shaded mode, and that's often F3 and F4. Then I had it in top, I think. Yeah, exactly. So now it's set up. A thing you can see here, I choose this image because it's very, very large, and you see suddenly it gets very blurred. It gets better if you zoom in. The same here, if I compare my knife image in my viewport to my knife image in my folder, you can see that 3D Studio Max blurs my image a lot more. This is a lot more sharper than in the viewport, and it has something to do with how the asset tracker manages your file. So if you go to asset tracking and then you select your two images and go into enable proxy system, and then global settings, you see that they are downscaled. So what I want to do is take them to full and then render with full resolution and generate proxies. And now you see the knife got a lot sharper, the image. So I would recommend doing that, especially if you have a big picture. But yeah, if you have a slow computer, maybe you don't want to do that. But I like my reference image sharp. And what the source burn script does is that it creates a layer which it puts the reference image in, and then it freezes them, and also activates show frozen gray as I showed before. But again, what I don't like about this is that if you press F3 and go into wireframe mode, you lose sight of your reference image, and I find that a hassle. That's why I like to work with views, viewport background image, configure viewport background image, use file. But I definitely recommend using some of the scripts I showed for setting up reference image. It speeds up the workflow a lot, and it works pretty good. Yeah, I will do a knife tutorial which you can follow, and I will do the same thing I've done this time. And have a happy life, have a happy day. See you later.